Hi, I'm Nick Broughton and I'm a Randomfish. It's been a while, but I'm back and, subscribe and all of that lovely stuff. So, the film I'm looking at today is a film called The Girl from the Song. It's an indie film, taken to various film festivals. It's now out. I was watching it on Netflix, actually, just to really sort of have a proper watch of it. And, I didn't have to buy it on DVD or anything, which is always kind of nice. The film was made in Spain, featured a nice wide variety, very good acting cast. I cannot for the life of me pronounce any of their names, so I'm simply going to just call them by their character names, okay? The main character is called Eric. He's an aspiring musician, and he meets this woman called Jo, who has essentially got a love for art and taking bits of rubbish and making them into art, I guess, or giving them new purpose and giving them to someone else with a new purpose. Which is kind of cool. It's a very cool thing to sort of be. If Jo talks about a whole bunch of things, including a festival called Burning Man. Now, for those of you who don't know what Burning Man is, it is an experimental festival involving a giant, massive, 10-foot tall man made out of wood that they set on fire at the very end. Hence the term Burning Man Festival. But she decides she doesn't want to go in order to stay with Eric and do a course at the university that he's at, or college, or whatever it is. I don't really know. It's never... He just calls it school. I don't know whether that's uni or college or anything like that. I don't know, but it's fun. It's fun to see. But then Jo goes missing. And it turns out that she has gone to Burning Man, but she's gone with her ex and her best friend. Her best friend, who is now dating her ex, obviously. Eric then flips out and travels to the Nevada desert in order to find her, in order to go to Burning Man to win her back. Throughout the journey, it's massively chaotic. He meets a variety of people, and the film itself, it doesn't end the way you would think it would end, which is, I'm sorry to say, it's starting to become more of a staple now. Films are trying so hard not to be generic in their endings that they've become generic in their not quite generic endings. If you get what I mean. I'm not going to spoil it here. I'm simply going to say watch the film if you haven't already, and then come back and watch this review. 5, 4, 3, 2. Okay, so at the end of the film, she breaks up with him. And she decides she doesn't like her friends because her friends basically have screwed her over. And she, forgets about him. They will always have those special moments, blah, blah, blah. And she gets on a car, some kind of carrier. It's like a Mad Max Fury Road carrier, for crying out loud. And she drives away. And she's driven away. And you never actually see him go home. You never actually see Eric go back home to where he was. You see him left in the Nevada desert, looking on at this festival. And what was really kind of cool about this was that it was shot at Burning Man. The sequences were shot in the actual festival itself, which is very cool. And I do think that was a very cool way of ending things for a lot of people. The film itself is shot very well, like cinematography-wise, it's very well done, and it's very professionally made, and it's really good. The only gripe I will ever have about any kind of indie film, or any film that goes to a film festival, the acting has to be almost above average. Because if it's not, then it just feels like a bunch of very bored people say a bunch of very boring words. Words that they cannot get inspired by a writer who is not inspired either, because his words have lost all meaning. I don't at any point believe that no one wanted to make this movie, not at all. But sometimes it just feels like sometimes the acting didn't feel quite as strong as it could have been. I guess my biggest gripe, with terms of acting anyway, is the main guy, Eric. The guy playing him. He was alright for a while, but he's kind of the character that you wish you were. He's the guy that you see everything through. It's from his perspective that the film is viewed. And unfortunately, they seem to have gone the route of going, if he is the blank slate for which we see things, then he must be a blank slate as a character with only a few select moments in his head. And that was more or less okay, because his reactions worked, but the longer the film went on, he felt more and more I felt more and more disconnected from the character. I'm aware that films are supposed to take you into the realm of the disbelievable and whatnot, but the best way to do that is to create an atmosphere, create a strong enough atmosphere that you're able to that's able to reflect with you. And I think that should be happening. I think that should happen. But to be honest, I'll be honest, with the film, it didn't really bother me so much. It didn't bother me so much that I stopped enjoying the film, because the other characters were just as amazing. They were just as they were memorable. They were funny. They were conniving. The best friend, she might actually be on my list of people I'd like to slap as much as Professor Umbridge from Harry Potter 5. You know, it's that kind of really annoying, get under your skin, slightly pompous people who you just know for a fact you cannot allow them to believe they're right for even a nanosecond, because if they do, they will never shut up about it. And that, to me, is a genius thing. It's a genius way to play a character, and it's a brilliant way to write a character. Because if you have a really annoying character, someone who your audience actually wants to throttle, you have so much more to go with. You have so much more passion to go with, and that is brilliant for me. It really is. It's brilliant. But really, that's about it. I mean, there's not much else I can really say. The shots obviously are beautiful. The ending is shot at Burning Man, so it's not exactly... It's high quality, but it's chaotic quality, which is cool. Especially at a festival, because with a festival you want to have a sense of an overwhelming of the senses. That's what you need to have. So for that aspect alone, I really did enjoy the Burning Man Festival. I enjoyed all the stuff that happened beforehand. The way these two characters meet in the beginning is actually kind of hilarious. It's not something that you overly expect will happen. The guy is at a party, he walks out, he starts playing his guitar or whatever, and this girl, Jo, has clambered out of a window, and she's up in a tree, and she's stuck. She asks him to give her a hand down. Instead of the romantic, I fall out of a tree, the guy catches her shtick. She falls out of the tree, lands on him, breaks his nose, I think, in a way, or like at least damages it enough that it starts bleeding profusely. He ends up in A&E with her. She's trying to make it up to him. He's getting more and more pissed off about it. And yet they meet, they see each other the very next day, and she tries to win him back over by taking him to an open mic night with his guitar, and she convinces him to play. And that's how the whole relationship starts with them. And I loved it. I thought it was brilliant. I loved the concept. And like I said, the only problem I will ever have with this movie was the very main character, was Eric. Because he just didn't... The longer it got into the film, the less I was feeling for him and understanding him. I think that might have been part of the point of his character, actually, now that I think about it. It's more of a... he's the character that you know is alright at the start of the film. He's a bit annoying, but he's not too bad. But the further he digresses into the film, it's the kind of character that you want to just punch and say, wake up. You're being deluded with this. It's a bit like how the character of Johnny in American Idiot, American Idiot the musical, how he digresses throughout the show. And he ends up not in a better place, but in a very neutral place. And I think that's how this film ends. So honestly, from that perspective, I absolutely 100% recommend this film. I like this film. You know, you shouldn't be watching this review if you haven't watched it yet, because I gave massive spoilers halfway through the bloody video. But if you've watched this video and you still haven't seen it, go out there, try it. You know, I don't know whether you'll be able to find it or not. But it is there, it is available. If you have Netflix, check it out on Netflix. It's really cool. It's The Girl, The Girl from the Song. That is the title of the film, The Girl from the Song. So go check it out. please check out the rest of my videos on this channel. Please subscribe. Please like. You know, look at all the channels that you know, look at various other channels like this, and you know, subscribe to them. You know, let's see what happens. Let's be random fishes together. I don't know why I keep saying that. It's fun to say. Random fish out, my friends.